Red Sox signing infielder Kristian Campbell to an 8-year contract extension that spans the 2025 to 2032 seasons with club options for 2033 and 2034.
You saw this coming from a mile away after.
What are you doing, Melkin? You tweeting? Or you helping the show? Okay.
Tim's reading the news right now.
Okay. Let's make it sure.
So the Padres signed Jackson Merrill this morning to a contract extension. Campbell gets it done right after.
What does that mean?
What's the money?
I'd guess it's right in the range of like 70 to 80. You look at Jackson Chourio last year, he signed for 8 years, 82. It had incentives that brought it all the way up to 142.
It's an 8-year deal with 2 club options that can take him through 2034.
So you might get a little bit more length there with some of those club options included and incentives and playing all that out. So it could get closer to 100, but I'd expect it to be in that range.
Kristian Campbell.
He's also not playing a premium position like Jackson Chourio as well.
Already getting it done.
All right.
Hope he's good.
So what's he do next week? Like buy a new car, buy a new truck, get a new apartment? Like, got to start spending, right? New guy now.
He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Oh, money doesn't. Easy, pal.
So he's 22 now. So this
22-year-old guy get paid. He's going to go buy something. My ass would be out that door. Where's the nearest Mercedes dealer?
Well, it's not necessarily like football where they drop a $15 million signing bonus on you. It's all guaranteed in baseball. The contracts are real. They're not phony baloney.
Right.
Like the NFL. So they don't have to come up with this big lump sum payment at the beginning.
It's got to be direct deposit now, though, right? Didn't Manny have checks in his locker or something like that back in the day?
Kevin Garnett has told the story. I think he told it on one of the late night shows a few years back. Kevin Garnett, when he was obviously young and he was in the NBA making good money, he would take his checks and go cash them at the bank and then take the cash home and put it under his mattress for like a year or 2. Oh, man. And he was like, I just wasn't financially like literate enough and had been like, had been around people that didn't trust banks and like didn't really fully understand the landscape of what to do with his money. So what he knew to do was go to the bank, cash the check, and take the money home. I don't think that's going to be happening with Kristian Campbell. No, I think it's definitely, set up some accounts.
Good for him. Good for him.
It should be just a start. Once Roman Anthony gets up here, once Marcelo Meyer, those are the exact conversations that are going to pick up pretty quickly. People are worried a lot about the future of free agency in baseball now because you see these deals get locked up now. You're buying 3-4 free agent years. Most guys aren't hitting, at 28 or 29, despite younger guys coming up and now contributing more than ever.
I mean, considering when you are doling out 8 to 10-year deals for a guy who's played 5 major league games.
If you're Ceddanne Rafaela and you're getting a contract like you did a year ago when you really can't hit whatsoever, you're just a great fielder and you're pretty good on the base paths, yet you still get thrown out a lot, that tells you where the game is. People want fixed prices, and at a cheaper rate, they're willing to take that risk again and again.
But you still have to pick your spots with which players you do it with, because you can't just sign 7 or 8 guys to deals that you say, well, if he works out, we got him on a good deal. It's like, well, but now you're spending what? You got to pick the right players still.
Right. Of course, but even in the case of like a Ceddanne Rafaela, he's making $6.25 million AAV. That's Harrison Bader money. That's 4th outfielder money. Campbell's going to be in a different tier than that, obviously.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No,
please go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying.
First.
You first.
You said first.
Kristian Campbell is a kid that, he did hit a home run. He did almost drive in 2 runs the other day. Almost caught a ball.
Yep.
Right. What if he's not what you think he is? Exactly. What if we got it wrong? And I think we all think he's going to be really good and we're buying the hype. What if we're all wrong? What if the team's wrong? And now you've got, a guy on your books for 8+ years. Well, then that's when you can get into problems. So you've got to point out there's an evaluation involved, and teams will be graded on those evaluations and which players they choose to give these contracts to. Fact is, they have not given one to Tristan Casas, and he doesn't have one.
We got the money, $60 million guaranteed.
What is this? Is that a football contract? What does that mean? $60 million guaranteed.
So if you look at Jackson Churio, who got 80, right?
Okay.
So when you come in with the incentives, I'm guessing it's going to be possibly getting up to about $100 million. But he plays second base and left field. If you're not playing a center field or a shortstop, it does knock you down a peg.
All right. Anyway, back to my point. They haven't given one of these deals to Casas. I think they talked about it last year, right? And he didn't bite. How does that look right now that they don't have him under contract?
He's different stratosphere, though.
Doesn't look bad.
No, it does not.
They definitely don't look bad for not having him locked up right now.
But it wasn't the Red Sox who were the ones walking away last spring. It was Casas wanting more money.
Well, we also don't know what they were offering. Right. So maybe the deal was so beneficial to the team that it did speak to their belief in him. And this, to me, $60 million to a guy who's played 5 games definitely shows belief in the player. I mean, there's no other way around that. What if it was half of that a year ago talking to Tristan Casas? What if they were offering him the Wilyer Abreu deal?
You know what they tell him? They say you play first base. That's immediately knocking you down unless you believe you're going to be a top 10 hitter in the sport. I think that's where Casas came from. He's like, hey, I think I'm going to be one of those guys. The Red Sox are like, hey, we got a half a season of you doing that. We need to see if you can be that over 162. And to their point, he has not done that yet.
All right, so Kristian Campbell, 8 years, a minimum of $60 million, multiple club options at the end of it that can make it a 10-year deal. And he almost, how'd you put it, T-Bone? He almost drove
in 2 runs the other day. He did drive in 1, but almost 2.
Oh, it was almost 2.
And he almost caught that ball.
Almost caught that ball.
T-Bone, very anti-Christian Campbell.
Well, no, he's not anti-Kristian Campbell.
I'm not anti. I just got to see more.
He's anti the hype. He's pissed about the hype and about the sell job that we've been getting.
Yeah, hype is one thing, but he's already here. We're just getting sold. Getting it beaten over our heads that he's this great thing. It's like, let it play out.
Yeah, let him be great. Let him be
You
great.
don't have to tell me. He looks like a good player. You don't have to keep telling me.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's a good player, we'll see it, won't we?
I'm like almost sold. Don't keep selling me.
Are we
I want to buy the car. So stop trying to talk me into buying the damn car. That's why I'm here. I want to buy this thing.
I don't need the undercoating.
Yes.
It tells you how sensitive they are to the Mookie homegrown thing. That's exactly what that tells you.
Could have used an extra clear coat today. Could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, did some damage in the garage. Oh. Duct work. Very low in there. Very low.
Not the best garage.
No, not the best garage. Not the best drivers
problems
in that
in there.
garage. Or
A lot of problems in
don't
that
know how to
garage.
park in their garage.
You don't run into these problems with the Nissan Rogue, man. I'm just saying.
I'm sure you don't.
No.